Let's go live to Parliament House. The Nationals leader David Littleproud speaking on Labor's decision to lift the ban of US beef into Australia.
Yet the government has not provided or released the protocols on which the beef from the United States could be imported into this country. Those are the legal requirements that an importer would have to meet to bring beef from the United States into Australia that was from Mexico or Canada. The fact that they haven't done that raises serious concerns to me around how this decision has been made and the timing of it. If it was well planned, the department would be able to provide me with those details. They have not. I think the prudent way forward is to have an independent scientific panel review the department's decision and the protocols when they come out. There is a precedent for this, and in fact that precedent was one that I put in place when I was Agriculture Minister around the importing of prawns back into Australia after the white spot outbreak. I think it would be prudent for this government to have an independent panel that industry could hand select the scientific rigour that is required and the personnel to be on that panel to review the decision. We need to give confidence to the Australian public, not just to the agricultural sector. We are not just talking about animal welfare. We are talking about Australians' welfare. This is about BSE, this is about TB. And we should not be taking risks that cannot be substantiated. And the fact that the government cannot substantiate those protocols today concerns me. It should concern every Australian, and biosecurity should not be political. But the fact that we are sitting here today without those protocols put in front of us to give us that confidence erodes that confidence. And so I just say to the government that they should commit to an independent scientific panel being formed to review their decision so that we do have that confidence moving forward. Kevin, you want to say something?
Yeah, look, just to follow up from what David said, biosecurity in this country has always been science-based, and as he said, it's not political. What we have a real concern about is the timing of this and the rushness of this. There's a lot of stakeholders, important, industry bodies who were giving no heads up about this until very late yesterday. The department seems to be slow with, again, explaining what these new protocols are or if they know how these new protocols will work. And we're talking about Australians' health and safety here. Also, the damage to biosecurity, as we know, and why we're so cautious about it and precautionary about it, would be the damage that would be done to an industry if we had an outbreak of a disease come into our country for the industry as well. But also, as we've said, for the health of Australian humans as well that can be damaged by some of these outbreaks. I'm also concerned, I'm hearing a little bit of backstories about this. I hope this isn't Ambassador Rudd. Obviously, the government is scrambling to try and get a meeting with Trump because of their own mismanagement and a lack of focus on this early on in Trump's presidency. And we certainly hope that there isn't, Ambassador Rudd or others aren't running around the US trading away some of our biosecurity issues in the context of trying to get a deal done with Trump. We are not encouraged, and we would not encourage the government to trade around biosecurity risk to get a deal or get anything done with Trump. That is paramount and should never be compromised. So there's a lot of questions about this, and a lot of questions the government has to answer that they aren't answering yet. The briefing they gave to the stakeholders today was very highbrow, very into the weeds of this, because we don't think they know what they are.
Two of the big farming lobby groups, the National Farmers Federation and Cattle Australia, have both spoken today. They don't seem too concerned about this. Why are you so concerned?
Well,
what do you know that they don't?
I'd take a deep breath on that. I've had subsequent conversations with Cattle Australia after they were provided a briefing as well. And they also share concerns, and they'll be making a statement. I'll allow them to make those statements. And when Kevin talks about trading away biosecurity, we're also concerned about other commodities that may be potentially traded away over in the United States, like pork, and we need assurances from the government that this is the extent of it. But first and foremost, we should take the precautionary principle here. This is Australians' well-being, Australians' families' well-being, about understanding what is being brought into this country. This is talking about BSE, TB. That is something this country doesn't have and don't want to get. And unless you can provide that confidence, that is the government's responsibility, to provide that confidence. And when they give a briefing to industry and they give a briefing to the Shadow Minister and cannot provide the protocols on which is the legal basis you can import that beef into this country, and this has been a long-standing process, why can't they provide that? That adds suspicion to what has happened here, and it shouldn't be like that. And this is the contempt that the Albanese government has shown agriculture, but there is a real risk to Australian families if we get this wrong.